Wait, hold on, zoomed in. But I can never tell. So, we got. Damn, but my mouth look hella greasy. We ain't got no paper towels. Definitely gonna have to go downstairs for some. Damn. That's alright, but like right now we got French toast, bacon, and water, chat. We're living it up. And one bite? Mm-mm. You can't get none. Boston. Real stuff though. I was finna say, there's a point in time you gotta wreck a life. I mean, what? You gotta recollect on your past, but I feel like we do that every day. So, let's stay here in the present and enjoy the life you have, no matter how shitty it is. Because if you think you deserve more, chase after it. That's all I. I mean, damn, where my phone at? Oh shit. I feel a great deal of shame of everything I do in my pastime. But sometimes with that shame and regret, it comes with a little bit of laughter, you know what I'm saying? And laughter in what type of context of, we're gonna look back and laugh about this when we're older, but now, not the time, nor the place. A little bad when I stopped eating, because eating is my favorite hobbies, huh? You ever been stressed out to the point where your stomach just won't let you eat? It's going away, but it's still there. In similar fashion, this happened before, but it was more of an altercation. gratification than me getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? No, for sure. No. Well, there's a 17-year-old out there somewhere, you know? No car, no job, living with his parents. The thing he's on. Nigga, that's me. Just 1 year older. But it's getting about that time. I've been this age for a couple months now, bro. I should have been having it all out. You know? I feel like I've been selling. What the hell is that noise? I hope that's the refrigerator. But we finna head outside. Get some fresh air. Look-y. I feel sick. But you gotta eat, bro. Was there not a black lady on this with an afro? Called Auntie. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. She's right there on the side. I couldn't see myself as a dad in general. I don't have the qualities of a father, you know. But who knows? I probably got a kid out somewhere. Probably got like 300 kids out there somewhere. I always had like a deal in my brain where Every time I go to the doctor, they'll like strict my DNA to clone me or some shit. And I always thought just got like a bunch of me's just running around the world doing like spy shit. That could be true to some degree. Highly feasible. You're probably wondering what this video is for. I don't know myself. I think it's the what's it called? The mental stimulation of talking to you, but technically talking to myself without looking crazy early. Cause all I do is stay in one little box majority of my life. You know, I tend to self isolate myself. They say, pure accident though. I just don't like talking to people, especially if I don't know you. But it's hard to make connections when you don't talk to people. You know, that's how the world works. Boy, you know, there's a lot of things you can do that will be just listed off as you're just crazy. You know, you're going through another manic episode. Like, I feel like one of the worst things you can do is pay somebody to be insane. That's worse than lying on them, you know? Because it does something. Alright, chat. Everything's looking semi-okay. Oh, shit. I'm finna head outside, Brady. It's weird still being here, bruh. Like, you know your time is finished. It's like having a death sentence. No one is coming, but you're still in the same spot. I can be your hero, baby. Well, it's a little bit nippy. Just brighten this up. It's nippy enough to put the hoodie on, chat. Alright, so since we're outside, what room? You know, I think you shouldn't have a dream job. But if you do, that's good. But like, why is your dream working for another dude? You know what I'm saying? Working for another person. Working under somebody. Or even working in general. Your dream should be something you're bad at, that you want to get good at, or something you're already good at that you want to get good at, you know? Now, if your dream is to, you know, work in sales or teach or stuff like that, there's no problem with that at all. No problem with that at all. But matter of fact, scratch that, because the way I see it, anything you do is still count as work. It's just the way you see it. If you do something you enjoy, is it really work? Who knows? You know, I could talk about mistakes all day and how you can overcome it, or how you should be motivated to build yourself into a new higher consciousness or being, but I don't got time for it. It's too cold and I'm out of it, you know? It's early in the morning, as you can see. I got stuff to do today. So does everybody, you know? But sometimes I be like, I get in my head and I be like, dang, this really a dude right now. Doesn't gotta work. Don't gotta think about working. Everything's paid for. And he got everything he's want, but deep down, he feels like he has accomplished nothing. And there's somebody that's, even on my level or lower than me, I think they got it all figured out, which is great. It's just, you gotta figure out what position you wanna be in before you have that type of view on yourself. Do you want to be high, super high up, and still feel like you're not accomplished, or you want to be super down low and you feel like you're complacent, or you're accomplished enough to live the rest of your life out, you know? Honestly, I don't know, you know? I think it's always a question of a question, like, why am I doing this and who am I doing it for? Am I doing this for myself? More like a double entendre, something like that, you know? And it always feels fake to me for some reason, you know? I could probably work until my fucking legs fall off and I still wouldn't feel accomplished, to the point where I think being known for something that has impact the world in a positive or negative limelight is more fulfilling than not doing anything and having a stable job and a stable home. But in your mind, that could be the thing you want. Building a family, having some kids, having a nice job, living it out, right? In a suburban area. But then, say you go to a party and then you're around some of your old fellows from school or something. They're doing this, and he's doing sales. The other nigga's an astronaut or some shit. He's a world-renowned chef, and you're starting to feel like, damn, did I really do the things I wanted to be? And it's not the comparison, it's a thief of joy, you know, quota. It's more of a, am I doing it for myself or am I doing it for others? Because before you went to go meet those people, you were like, damn, I'm doing good. I got me a nice little crib. Got me a nice, you know, my mental state's good. I got me a nice little baddie under my arm. Got some kids, nice little crib, penthouse, apartment, whatever it is. But then you want more. You want more excitement. That's why people, you know, tend to cheat, infidelity, shit like that. You know, start to round things up, because the human mind needs something to spike the dopamine level higher and higher, because once you hit that plateau, it's only down from there, you know? You know, why you think Why do you think you see a perfect relationship and you see this comments like, oh, I hope it ends? You know, some are joking, but some are dead ass because they want them to feel the grief that they feel because they never had anything like that, or when they did, they lost it. You know, I lost it. I had it once. I lost it. Being immature. So I thought I had one. I told y'all last video I thought I had one, but you know how that went. Gotta technically cut her off. So that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Even when I thought I had it, I really didn't have it. It was fake. It was a facade. That person wasn't getting enough attention, so they cheated, you know? But you gotta suck that shit up, bro. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody get chill. Motherfucker, if goddamn, what's a good, if Michael B. Jordan, yeah, that's a casual one, can get left, nigga, what makes you different, fuck, nigga? Fuck, nigga, what makes you different? If Michael B. Jordan can get left, right? Shit, what makes you different? If a war-renowned international soccer player can get cheated on, what makes you different? You know, no matter who you are or what you are. You know? The brain is the most mysterious thing in this realm, second to the fucking water, and then third to the space. Shit, you know. Or maybe we just like low intelligent beings. You know. And what makes you different? This is not no red pill pipeline or this versus that. No, it's just things happen, people want more, and then you can't provide that, so they search for something different. We all went through that phase, not of cheating, but went through that phase of wanting more, even though the life you have is pretty good. There was a video with a title. It was something. Was it Whimsical Desire? No, it's something with an M, I think, with desire. And it's basically, it's like a component of, you know how like a baby is playing with a toy and doesn't want to play with it, but he sees another baby playing with the toy he just had, and now he wants to play with it. It's like that, but on a simplistic way, you know. So with that, I tend to see that. Shit. What am I trying to get out of here? What's the so-called the plot? You know, the thesis of this. You know. I'm sorry. I don't think I have enough vigor for this conversation. I really don't. What I'm trying to say is, no matter how complex you think, we all still live under the means of most simplistic things, you know? The most primal things. The most primal things, the two most primal things is fighting and sex. You know, that's the two most primal things, you know? But that's another question for a different time. It's either you're willing to hide those type of things to your child, or you show them early on how to moderate themselves and to contribute to society without being obsessed or addicted to one of those things, fighting or drugs, you know, those vices, you know. Because if you think about it, our devices are really our vices, you know. It's our addiction, you know. It's our addiction. Our phones are our addiction, you know. It adapts to the mind, you know. You can't really figure out what it is and what it can be, what you want it to be, you know. You gotta figure out what's the point, because sometimes you're not even living for yourself, you're living for others, you know. Say if you have a kid or so, you're not only living for yourself, you're living for the person that you created with a different significant other, you know. No matter if you're on good terms or not, you still have to live for yourself. You gotta be strong enough to live for yourself and them. That's why I give kudos to single parents, like fathers, single parent, you know, because being a single father, right, like, you know, you tend to get, you know, strange looks and stuff like that, because it's not that common. You know, a single mother, that's common. So, you know, you gotta give kudos where it's theirs, but
it's getting pretty cold, so we're about to head back inside. I ain't gonna lie. But it was great having a little yap session with you once again. You know, I'm scared. You know, scared of what? I'm scared of telling people that I'm afraid. Afraid of not being or not making it. And making it what? We don't even know. But I was scared to show people that I was scared, you know. I had to put on a facade that I'm just a strong guy or just a jokey fellow. So, you know, you used to tend to mellow out. But anyway, it was lovely talking to you. But we're going to head back in the house and start the day with something new. And see you later.